name colon data type and square brace. That is declaring of array. Important is after declaring array, the values cannot be stored into array. After declaring, the values cannot be stored into array. Directly, values cannot be stored into array. That means, observe here, I said products and many values. Now, after declaring, I am writing like this: products of 0 is equal to TV, and the products of 1 is equal to mobile. Very important is you are declaring an array to store same type values. But if I change this from string to any, that means it can handle any type value. That means products of 2, it can be true. And the products of 3, it can be, so a number, you can store a number into it. But if I change this to string type, that means it can store only string. That means these two are not valid. That means now your TypeScript array have both behaviors. It can store same type of values. It can store different types of values. So now you cannot say that array is for same type of values, because if I make it as an any type, then it can handle all types of values. Any is the root type for all data types. It can handle any type of value. So that means now the point here is, so declaring array. First point is you declared array, and by using this meta character you declared, suppose it is a string type, that means same type of values. That means all should be string type only. Okay. After that, we are printing console.log. I want to print products of 0. Means I want to access that value. Now this is problem here. This is invalid because actually in this array declaration, there is no 0. You may be thinking like you have stored some value in the 0 reference, but actually there is no 0 at all. Because array declaration is not enough. Very important is array must be initialized. Initialized with array must be initialized with memory. That means only declaration is not enough. That is very important. It must be initialized with memory. Currently, it is only declaration, no initialization of memory. What is initialization? I told you. Here you are not initializing the memory. You are just declaring it and you are trying to assign some values and use them. Actually, there is no 0 and 1 at all. Now you try to run this and see here. When I compile and run this, Typescript array demo.ts and node array demo.js, and you can observe that you can see it shows an error. Error says that there is no property called 0. It is not there. But you may be thinking like you are storing value into that, but actually this memory not allocated at all. That means it is mandatory that array must be initialized with memory, and memory for array is initialized by using two options: A, by using meta character that is square brace, and by using array constructor by using array constructor. Array meta character is square brace and array constructor is, we have to use array constructor like this. The memory for array is initialized, must be initialized. You must initialize memory. Without initializing the memory, you cannot. That means, now what is the syntax? Syntax is let variable name colon data type. This is only declaration is equal to, this is initialization. That means we have to initialize the memory. I told you already what is initialization. So, and variable name colon data type, and here we can declare as new array like this. This is also initialization. Now you need to understand what is difference between meta character and array constructor. What is difference between meta character and array constructor? That means you can declare by using two ways. That means, observe here, declaration is there, but memory is not initialized. That's the reason it is showing error. How to initialize the memory is equal to, memory is initialized in this way. Now this 0 is available, now or 1 is available, and you compile and run this, and you can see that now it is working fine. TV is working fine. So array needs declaration and initialization of memory. Mandatory. Array needs declaration and initialization of memory. Without initializing the memory, you cannot use the array. Now, how you can initialize the memory? You can initialize the memory in this way by using array meta character, or by using array constructor like new array. And I am trying to access products of 1 here. And you can see that this time I am using array constructor, and you can see it is also allocating the memory, and it is accessible. Now the first question here is, what is difference between array meta character and array constructor? What is difference between array meta character and constructor? That means, what is the difference between these two? The difference is nothing but, actually, always actually, meta character means this square brace. Meta character allows a tuple. In many Angular interviews, they ask what is a tuple. Allows a tuple. Tuple means, tuple is nothing but, if data type is any type, if data type is any type, then it allows to store different types of values. But important is array constructor will not allow to store different types of values, even when the data type is any. That is very important. That means, actually, meta character allows a tuple. That means, if data type is any, see, observe here, I am initializing the values. Suppose, let's say like this, let values any type, okay, is equal to, I am using a square brace in that 10 comma, so 20 comma, so, or 10 comma true comma string. It is allowed, it is allowing it. And you print console.log and values.toString. Later I will tell you what is the toString. Functions we will discuss about. This is allowed. That means when you run this, you can see that it is working fine. When you run this,